Hi everyone. So I will be going over one of your first tasks as a CET, which is messaging your instructor for the first time. This is very important because it essentially initiates your job as a course embedded tutor. Okay, so let's get started. So let's first start off with your first email. This will be your first encounter that you will have with your assigned instructor. This is basically introducing yourself and letting them know what your position involves, and more importantly, getting access to their Canvas shell. So this is an email template that you'll be given as well. I'm just going to go over each section for you. So first, you're going to introduce yourself, include your name and ask for a possible Zoom meeting with them, as well as their preference for communication. It can be email or, Canvas inbox, what have you. So the first section is having access to the Canvas shell. This is very important because it gives you access to the instructor's shell as a tutor, so you'll be able to see sections that the students would not be able to see, but you'll be able to see, such as the pending modules. Okay, so I'll be going over that right now. Okay, so we're at the Canvas homepage. As I mentioned before, this is the first thing that you'll be doing when communicating with your professor is asking them to give you information when you provide your LACCD email and ID number to get you into the class. That's the first time you'll be communicating with them. And here's what your Canvas should look like, or look like that you have access to. So there are some features such as a student view right here, and you have access to sections in the module like on the sidebar. For example, things with this symbol, the students would not be able to view, and you'll also be able to see pending modules. So let's look at the student view. Okay. So if you notice, there are some things that you can see, but the students cannot. So let's pretend that the students are currently on week 7. So here's week 7, and this will be the only module available for them. And week 8 is not published yet. However, you as the tutor will be able to see it as a pending module. So let's go, let's leave student view. So remember, the students are currently on week 7. So here's week 7. However, us as a tutor will be able to see week 8, which will be a pending module only. So it's very important that you have access to this so that you can be able to look and also plan ahead for the following week. Also, this might be optional, but with the approval of the instructor, you can also have your own page be included in the weekly modules. So for example, we have in week 6, we have tutoring reminder. Week 7 has a tutoring reminder, and I believe 10 tutoring and 12. So this can be like every week or every so often, depending on the instructor again. And this can only be done with the instructor's permission. Okay, so back to the sample email. So another thing we'll be going over is your weekly tasks to help students in the class, pending the instructor's approval. So this includes weekly study groups focusing on course content. So this will be going more in depth in another video, but essentially it's a study session where you review what the students learned that week, and that helps them with anything they have trouble with, and essentially have the students as a group have input and help each other as well. Okay, we also have weekly reminders to send students about my study groups through Canvas inbox. So this is just to promote our study sessions and remind the students that we're here and available to help. And sometimes students forget that, these things are available. So it's good to give them a reminder, and then check in with the professors. You want to stay communicated with the professor, keep them in the loop on what you plan on doing, especially when you need approval to do something, let's say on Canvas. Check-ins on the course content and modules and syllabus. So you want to make sure you're on top of what the students are learning so that you are prepared to help them. So one week they may be going over grammar, while another week they can be going over like a chapter in a book. So engagement on course discussion boards with students. So especially for a class that's asynchronous, meaning fully online with no Zoom meetings, it's good to stay engaged with the students. It puts a face to a name. And for them and for you actually. And it also promotes you that you're here to help. And this task, you would need to also get the instructor's approval beforehand. Okay, and engagement with students on your own tutor discussion board to answer their questions and share helpful info. So this will be also explained in depth in another video, but it's basically a way for the students to contact you on Canvas. Let's say like if they can't meet you during your Zoom hours, for anything related to the class. Okay. Another part is introducing yourself to the class. So your Meet Your CET page. So from past experience, if this is your first time being a CET, you can always like adjust it. You can always adjust like this entire template for what suits you. So for example, you could say, from past experience of other CETs, and it just shows how they can add that to their module. Okay, and the last part is you're going to introduce yourself in the Meet Your CET page. So you're going to have hello students, and then you're going to introduce your name, maybe a little bit about yourself, and also promote your weekly study sessions, the dates and the times, as well as the Zoom link. You also want to include the ESL tutoring show so that you can promote your schedule for one-on-one tutoring sessions as well as for other ESL tutoring sessions just in case your hours don't work with theirs. And yeah, that's the end of that sample email. Um, it is a lot, however, it's important to take that initiative to introduce yourself and explain what your role is as a CET and what you have to offer. Okay, and before we end it here, here are some things to keep in mind, such as highlighting expectations early. This would be your first encounter with your instructor, so you want to communicate and clarify your role and responsibilities as a CET. Another one is collaborating. So you want to collaborate and share strategies, like going over what works well, what might be more effective, reflect on common problems and see what doesn't work for the class. And this is mostly because our overall goal with us and the instructor is to help the class. All right. So I hope this was helpful and good luck.